Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. What you were looking at, of course, is the impeccable Dr. Condoleezza Rice. I'm at Drudge, as you can probably tell. Big headline, Romney narrows VP choices, Condi emerges as front runner. Okay, well, a couple of things. If you follow my channel, you know that I've already talked about this. But I have a little different spin, so pay attention. Here's the thing. I don't think she's going to accept it. I would love it if she did. I really don't think she will, though. I think she likes her life. And you give up a lot of your life if you become vice president or president. You just do. And I think that her attitude is, look, I served my country honorably. You know, if you need my help, let me know. I'll happy to campaign for you and do whatever. But, you know, I'm not interested. That's really what I think the deal is. Having said all that, if I was Romney, I would literally be on my hands and knees, licking her feet, begging her to be his vice president. That's me. That's my agenda. I'm on record as saying that. Unfortunately, though, I will tell you, conservatives being their own worst enemies, that I've listened to a lot of pundits today talk about her as not being fit to be vice president because she is not pro-life enough. Okay, which is bizarre to me. She's on record. I've heard her say that she is absolutely against late-term abortions. But apparently, you know, her stance is, look, you know, I don't see a reason to change the law as it is, which basically means Roe versus Wade stays. Here's the thing, okay? And I want to address this not pro-life enough thing, okay? Now, here... I don't know what the numbers are in the Conservative Party as far as how many are pro-life and how many of them are pro-choice. But I will tell you there are a significant amount of conservatives, a significant amount of Republicans that are pro-choice. And I hate to see those two parties infighting. I hate to see that because I think that we need to have at the very least the goal of getting Barack Obama out of the White House. Okay, now here's the thing. The thing that frustrates me, and in the comment section, let me know how you feel about this. The thing that frustrates me is that I look at conservatives, I look at Republicans, and I see your constitutional conservatives being our own worst enemies. I see the pro-life conservatives being our own worst enemies. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, well, let me start with the constitutionalists. Conservatives, the Republicans that wrap themselves in the Constitution hardcore. A lot of these were Ron Paul supporters. They would rather have a president that is literally setting fire to the Constitution. That's preferable to them over a guy that's not Ron Paul, over a guy that's not quote unquote constitutional enough in their minds, whatever that may be. Okay, and if you look at the pro-life conservatives, they would rather have a guy that is completely cool with his Obamacare and using taxpayer money to fund abortion clinics. They would rather that's preferable to them, okay, than a guy that's on record as being pro-life or a vice presidential candidate that is apparently not pro-life enough. Okay, she's pro-life, but it's not pro-life enough. And some people may argue she's not pro-life because she supports Roe versus Wade. Now, I'm not even positive that she quote-unquote supports Roe versus Wade. I think what she is saying or has said is that she thinks that there should be some restrictions on that. You know, I would guess if you pressed her, she would say, look, you know, if a woman's raped or whatever. And now I know there are a lot of conservatives that draw a line in the sand and say, no, I don't care if they're raped. I don't care if it's their 14-year-old girl that was raped by her father. She's going to have that baby. You know. And I'm not going to debate abortion opinions on this video. But it's crazy to me to think that, you know, we have to divide here. It's crazy to me to think that it would be preferable to have a second term Barack Obama. And that's what I'm saying when I say that Republicans and conservatives in general are their own worst enemies. Because to me, it's a no-brainer. I would much rather have a first term Mitt Romney, who thinks he has to get reelected, versus a second term Barack Obama, who will, at that point, complete the task of burning the Constitution. You know, I mean, This absolutist nonsense that comes from the right kills me. You know, and it gets back to what I was saying initially when I said, well, I don't know how they let me scroll this down a bit. I don't know how they attack Condi. Well, you know, they don't have to attack Condi. You know, they don't have to attack Condi at all. All they have to do is let the conservatives do it. You know, that's the crazy thing. Let the conservatives tear Condoleezza Rice apart. You know, because they're apparently okay with having you know, a second term Barack Obama complete his task of destroying the United States of America. You know, I let me know in the comments section. Do you think I'm crazy on this? But I really do. I look at the conservatives as their own worst enemies. You know, because here's the thing: if Condoleezza Rice, if we were so blessed as to have Dr. Rice as Mitt Romney's vice presidential choice, okay, the left would have no way of attacking her. Period. Well, not okay. We've already established that they would say, well, she was part of the Bush administration, blah 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 blah. Well, you know, here's the thing: you turn that around by saying, you know what, say what you want, but under the Bush administration, unemployment was 4.some%. You know, I mean, you know, I think that there's especially in today's world with our shitty economy. I think that people would be interested in that. I think that it would be devastating to Obama's black vote. Because, you know, the black people are not, the black Americans are not overly impressed with Barack Obama. I think a lot of the promises that he had made have been completely unfulfilled. I don't think they look at him as somebody that is their savior. In fact, it's funny, I heard one black guy, and I wish I could remember who it was, but he basically said that a lot of blacks are finding it okay to hate on Obama because they justify it by saying they're hating on the white half. You know? I mean, whatever that means. You know? I think that for a lot of black, especially black women, I think that it would be an interesting conundrum for them because, you know, maybe they've voted Democrat their entire lives and now they've got a choice where they're looking at somebody that actually is a descendant from slaves. See, that's always been one of the hard things for the African American community in the United States to deal with because, you know, in one sense, they're proud that we have a black president, and they should be. Okay, even if he's only half black, they're still proud of that. But on the other token, Barack Obama doesn't have a connection to slavery. Michelle Obama does, and Barack Obama's children do, but Barack Obama himself does not. And it's always been something that they've had to struggle with because I know that they would have much rather had a candidate who had that connection with them to slavery. And unfortunately with Barack Obama, they did not get that. Now with Condoleezza Rice, they would. She can trace her lineage back to American slaves. So, you know, it's an interesting situation, and I just find it bizarre that the left wouldn't have to attack Condoleezza Rice, that the right would be happy to do so. You know, and to take one issue, and drive a wedge between Condoleezza Rice and conservatives it's mind-blowing to me. It's staggeringly mind-blowing to me that we would be our own worst enemies like that. And then, like I said, the same thing with the constitutionalists. I listen to these constitutionalists. I listen to them, and it's just amazing to me. It defies logic, and it defies common sense. When you say you support the Constitution, but yet your actions are surely going to ensure that the next president, same as the old president, is going to destroy the Constitution. And, you know, and they justify it by saying, well, you know, there's really no difference between Romney and Obama. Oh, bullshit. If you really believe that, your head is so far up your ass that I hope you don't vote. And I hope you don't procreate. I mean, seriously. There is a ginormous difference between the two. I know not according to, you know, some of the more extreme pundits out there. But if you look at reality, as reality is, you know, even if you just look at it like this, literally a first-term Romney is 1,000 gazillion times better than a second-term Obama. Now, anyway, listen, it's over 10 minutes. I'm not going to keep going. Let me know in the comment section if you think I'm crazy as a shithouse rat, and you know, some of you probably think that. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Mitt's got a chance in talking Condi into being his vice president? And do you think that conservatives are their own worst enemies when it comes to especially social or constitutional issues? Because I do think that. So, you know, and if you think I'm wrong, try to convince me. Tell me where I'm wrong on this. So, anyway, that's all I got. See ya!